I move for no man, no man, no man, no man, no
We'll call it a draw.
no man.
Just a flesh wound, just a flesh wound, just a flesh wound, just a flesh wound, just a flesh wound.
Alrighty.
Just a flesh wound.
Hey guys, top of the morning to ya.
Yeah, fuck you.
Chris,
That,
Chris is gonna have to be your fucking hair of the dog, huh?
yeah, I'm not hungover at all. I just didn't sleep last night. I had one of those, just wake up in the middle of the night and just stayed up for 4 hours in a row.
Is that slang? Is that slang
No.
for something?
No. I mean, for what?
I don't know. Maybe you want us to ask you, hey Chris, why didn't you get any sleep last night? And then you're gonna come back to us and say, because I was fucking.
Because I was doing heroin.
Oh.
I feel like you would have got a lot of sleep.
I'd still be asleep.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
He would definitely not be on the pod
I'd
today.
still be asleep.
I'm
No,
guessing.
I have these weird like mini bouts of insomnia where if I don't know, I'm thinking about shit or whatever, I'll wake up and just be up. I think I got that.
Chris, when did you get back to Vegas?
I got back Sunday afternoon. Dude, Vegas is dead.
Yeah.
Not
Really?
a lot going on now.
You guys
I don't know.
didn't party?
No. Like
No?
literally, by the time they got out of the bubble, because John fought kind of late. You know, he fought because he was like the first fight on the main card, I think. So he fought around like 7 p.m., which is like 10 p.m. Eastern time. But by the time they got out of like the actual bubble, like after the fight, and all, it's pretty late. East Coast guys, they're going back early Sunday morning, so they were like, and we tried to kind of go around. There's nothing really open. Like, yeah, I feel you.
So Chris, what's going on with John, man? He looked pretty fat.
No, John is fat, and John has been fat for a while. But he actually fought really well, and he just shit the bed right at the end. I don't know what the hell it was.
He hits really hard. Dude,
really
he had
hard.
he had that shit in the bag. He gassed.
Yeah, he fought super smart. He looked more in tune than I've ever seen him fight before. I was like really impressed. And then right at the end, like he's literally finishing the guy, and then barely gets choked and gets tapped. Gary, you didn't see the fight, right?
I didn't get a chance to because I was doing events all weekend. I had my event on Friday. Then I had to corner a friend's event on Saturday. So I'm guessing his thing was on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted
so-
to ask you about the choke. Like he got submitted, but
Yeah.
well, the choke didn't look like much.
Dominic and Michael Bisping were making fun of him
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
during
I
the broadcast.
hear
They're like, well, that's not really a choke, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's
what
what
happens?
it looked like to me.
What happens a lot, I think, and this is an observation somebody made, and I forget who it was. I want to say it was Chael. I think it's Chael. I was listening to his podcast once, and I think this happens quite a bit where you get into fights and like you're looking for an acceptable reason sometimes to be able to be done, right? And it's not there's no like it happens all the time, and it happens in grappling too. You know, not just fighting. And when it comes to like rear nakeds, guillotines, things like that, tends to be a higher percentage of time, I think, that people get caught in those, specifically the rear nakeds, I think. And the tap ends up being a tap not because they're actually being strangled. You know, it's just like, oh man, I'm done.
So Gary, so what basically happened was that John was ground and pounding him,
Yeah.
and the dude did kind of like a side choke from the bottom,
Mm.
but it wasn't like, it looked more like fatigue.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Is you know, you're fucking exhausted. Maybe he was really pouring it on the guy, and then then you get caught in a spot where it's like really, really uncomfortable, and it's causing a lot of anxiety. It's causing a lot of, you know, it's harder to breathe, and you're already breathing heavy, and dude, your brain's telling you like, dude, I want to get out of here.
Pretty much exactly what happened.
And you might not go out, but it's just the way that
Chris.
it's geared. I've had tons of times where I've been thinking, at the very least, I was thinking to myself, like, dude, you got to tap. And, you know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Those are the worst times, I'll tell you, though, as a fighter. When you leave the ring or you leave the mat, like after tapping because of something like that, like you fucking hate yourself, dude. Like it's hard. It's hard to, cause you know, like deep inside your head, you know, when you had to tap and when you didn't. And yeah, it's tough.
Chris,
Yes.
there's no way that this guy did good conditioning work. I mean, he looked. I think that's probably the worst he's ever looked physically.
Definitely physically, but in terms of his conditioning, especially for John, that was actually really good. not physically, obviously, not aesthetically, but like in terms of his output. Also, the pace of the fight was pretty slow. But yeah, John. Listen, I've known John since high school wrestling, and he's been the guy to gas. Like that's he's a very explosive guy, and he's not like the hardest worker in the gym. So that's definitely not his strong point. His strong point is power. But
So
also
at
this fight, he fought really well. He fought really smart from the outside. He was using he looked like the more experienced guy because he is.
Well, at this point in his career, do you think he's like lacking motivation, or because I think that heavyweight suits him, but he just he needs to work a little harder. I mean, he fought someone that isn't really like a big a name. He should have had that in the bag.
Yeah. I honestly, I think he shouldn't fight anymore. if you're gonna be like that, I mean, that's that. If he would have won that fight, especially the way it was going, I would have been like, awesome. Like he fought really well. Like he can definitely sell. Like to lose to a guy like that, I don't know.
Yep, I feel the same. What about you, Gary? Where was your match?
Oh, it's out in Texas. Texas is quickly becoming like kind of a hub for everything in jiu-jitsu because everything is much more open and people are able to put on shows and stuff.
How's the COVID situation over there?
So it's kind of funny, and I can't make rational sense of what's going on because okay, let's brief history here. Okay, New York, New Jersey, we got over 10,000 deaths, right? As a direct result really of our governors basically allowing COVID patients into nursing homes and rehabs. And so they basically just kind of set everybody up to get killed, realistically. But regardless, let's say that you didn't agree with that and that you just recognizing numbers, right? Okay, so but sheer numbers, like we've killed way more people in New Jersey and New York due to COVID, right? Texas as a whole, which is a huge place.
Yeah.
Maybe population-wise, I don't know how it compares exactly.
Yeah, it's not that dense.
It's a huge place. I feel like it's got to compare, like as a whole state, it's got to compare pretty well to something like New Jersey, at the very least. Maybe not New York, but at the very least New Jersey. And now it's much more spread out. I'll give you that, but only 2,000 deaths. Okay, 2,000 something. And I'm looking at this up the other day. Okay.
It's twice as big as New York, 3 times. New York has 11 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 or 11.
Uh-huh.
Well, Texas has 29.
Okay, so
It's huge.
So again, it's more spread out, obviously.
Yeah.
New York is a much smaller area,
Mhm.
but there's still it's a still pretty big populated area. So there's no reason why that like it wouldn't be a big problem there. And they have 2,000 deaths. So comparably, at least with New Jersey, I think we had 12,000. So it's 6 times less deaths than New Jersey had. Okay. Now, flash forward. So obviously, Texas, it not being as much of a problem, they decided to start opening things sooner, as they fucking should, because clearly, things aren't being so much of a problem where all the hospitals are full and everybody's dying. It really wasn't as big of a deal.
People don't give a fuck in Texas.
So, well, yeah. Also, their political landscape it's a little mixed actually, because they have some governors that are more Democratic, but the general populace, I think, leans towards, hey, listen, let us do what we want. We know the dangers, let us do what we want, right? But
They're
Live free or die, baby.
they seem to start recognizing cases instead of the more important thing, which is hospitalizations and death. And then they'll say, oh, well, those things follow the cases, but not necessarily. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, right? So all cases means is that a bunch of people were testing positive, right? Well, I don't know how much we were testing at the beginning of this comparative to now. So if there's a huge influx in testing, I mean, naturally, you're going to see a much higher numbers of people that are testing positive. I don't really see how that's an indication that there's something worse going on. And in addition to that, for governments like New Jersey and New York, who's already killed tens of thousands, to suggest that Texas is now somehow more dangerous, what they're really trying to say is, oh, well, we've stayed shut down longer. So, we did the right thing and they fucked up. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
So don't come back. You got a mandatory quarantine for 2 weeks when you come back from Texas, because things are dangerous over there. They have spikes in cases, right? Man, it's clearly safer there than fucking, dude, I take public transit to New York. I get on a fucking train that's full of people.
So why do you think they're doing that? Do you think it's just to make themselves look better?
I think it's to try to make themselves look better. They failed massively, and somehow they're trying to point fingers at Texas like they're the problem.
States.
Get the fuck out of here. Out of your fucking minds. You know what I mean? It's insanity. It's like this big pissing contest now. Oh yeah, they are, because New Jersey and New York don't want to be held responsible for the pain and suffering that they caused by closing things so harshly like they did. So they want to be like, oh, well, look what happened over there when they opened early, right? Look what happened over there. They have case spikes. So this is why we have to do things the way that we have to do things. It's just, it's insanity, man. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But you did good, man. Congrats. Another heel hook in the books.
Yeah, man. Ended up working out well. Tough guys.
At this point,
Guys, if my video pops out, it's because my connection's low. I started losing Gary talking, but so just don't mind that. Keep going.
Yeah. If you pop out, I'm dying to tell Gary some stuff behind your back.
Well, no, I'm not literally. If my video pops out, I'm still listening. I'm still doing audio.
Oh shit. Okay.
I shouldn't have told you that.
So, dude, at this point, you fucking Danaher guys shouldn't be allowed to heel hook, fellas. It's like you guys are so ahead of the curve.
How fast did you get him, Gary?
It's about 3.5, 4 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
You didn't even break a sweat.
I was sweating a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's
How much?
That's a solid go for an assassin like this guy.
Any celebration afterwards?
A little bit. We went out. How
was nightlife looking over there?
It was interesting. So, some stuff's open. There was mostly there's some indoor dining, some outdoor dining, some bars. I think they're, like you guys had just mentioned, they're shutting down bars now in a lot of those areas, at least in the main cities. Which
Arizona's locking back up.
Which is, again, just the mentality that goes into these decisions. It's just so hard to understand, because people going out to the bar comparative to people going out to the restaurant, how different is it really, comparatively, in terms of it's just it seems so arbitrary to make decisions like that. But anyway, we went out to some of these bars.
Well, in a restaurant you could sit down with your group, but in a bar you're kind of mingling.
I mean, I guess kind of. I mean, if you're like a nightclub, maybe I can kind of see, but I don't know. I guess you're mingling a little bit.
Maybe they're feeling the outside pressure and they have to do.
They are. That's exactly what's happening. Everybody's pointing fingers at them, so they feel like they have to change things. But whatever. We went out.
When you went to the bar, was it weird? Are people acting weird, or was it just business
I will say
as
this:
usual?
between the first trip and the second trip, people were much more tentative. I got into several arguments about mask wearing and things. Not because I'm not willing to. I just had a couple people in my group that just forgot theirs or whatever. So we were gonna go get food in an outdoor dining place.
Okay.
And which is you don't need a mask for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get to the outdoor dining area, typically the place that we went to, you would have to walk through their indoor portion briefly, and then get to their outdoor seating, right? Because there's a gate around their outdoor seating, a small gate, a 3-foot gate, nothing crazy. So I saw that they have a sign on their door that says hey, don't come in without a mask. I'm okay, problem. I respect that. So what do? I crack open the door. I do not go in, and I just talk to the person, the bus lady. the
Okay.
person sitting at the desk. I said, hey, would you mind if we just sat outside? We don't want to come inside. We're just going to eat outside. She's like, do you have a mask? I was like, well, I do, but my two friends that are with me, forgot theirs. So if we could just eat outside, that would be great. And she looked at me as if I had just suggested the most insane idea possible.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay to eat outside without a mask. She's like, yeah, but you're going to have to walk inside to, and you can't come in without a mask. And I'm like, okay.
Why do you have to walk inside though?
I'm like, okay, no problem. I was like, I'm not inside right now. Cause another dude goes, that's the beauty of the sign. You shouldn't even come inside. I'm like, I'm not inside. Like I just cracked open the door, dude. I'm literally trying to be as respectful of this as possible. And then I'm like, hey, why don't we're just going to step over this gate and we'll be in the outdoor portion. You know what I mean? Like I won't even have to come inside. And she just talked to me like I was a crazy person. Like I genuinely, like I was suggesting something that made no logical sense. And it was just so weird. But the last time I was there prior to that, people didn't really seem to care. There were signs on doors saying that you had to wear masks and stuff, and nobody bothered you if you weren't wearing one. But this trip, people were much more anal about it. I don't know, man. I feel like
what you guys end up doing?
Oh, we still found we literally went to another restaurant right across the street that had outdoor dining that let us eat outside, and they had no problem with it, So I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be like this. Times are a little weird,
Yeah, but that's going to be like person to person. That was her fault. That probably wasn't like the business establishment themselves. I bet you if the manager's out there, he'd be like, oh, yeah, cool. That makes sense. Shit, just go outside. But like, we live in this outrage culture where people just love to freak out about anything. And now they have a reason to.
Eating in restaurants, the idea of having to wear a mask to eat in the restaurant seems so ludicrous to me. Like either make it illegal, period, or come on, guys. I got to walk into a restaurant. For 5 minutes, I got to wear a mask before I get a drink. And then when I get a drink, I'm not wearing a mask anymore. Right? What's the fucking... what did you stop?
You
One
sit
sneeze?
down, right? Yeah.
One sneeze you stopped.
I noticed something funny. And so in the hotels now in Vegas, you have to wear a mask all the time. And they give you masks. Like they have like literally, like I was at the Bellagio, they have Bellagio masks. And they give you in the room. There's a couple of them. They have disposable ones all over the place, which is really cool. But it's funny. It's fun. People are walking around, and if you have a drink in your hand, your mask is down, and that's fine.
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah. So at a restaurant, like how often are you?
And I'm like, okay, don't need a mask.
Yeah. How often are you at a restaurant without eating or drinking something or having something in front of you? So what's the point? Like it makes no sense. It's not logical.
Well, Chris, it's safe to say that you never needed a mask in Vegas because you always had a drink in your hand.
Accurate.
So how
we're at the bar Saturday night watching the fights, me and my buddy Jake, and this dude comes up to the table, and I'm like, okay, cool, fast service. That doesn't happen in Vegas a lot. I'm like, awesome. This guy comes over, he goes, do you guys know the rules? And I'm like, no, sir, please tell me the rules. And he's like, gotta wear a mask on the way in. If you go to the bathroom, you gotta wear a mask. You're not allowed to sit at the bar. Like this is your table. This is the table you have to be at. I was like, cool. And then he walked away. I was like, that wasn't our waiter? What the fuck was that? He's literally a dude who was just walking around.
He was a tourist.
No. He worked at the bar for sure, but like that was his duty was to go and tell you what the fucking rules of the bar was. I was like, is this guy fucking serious?
That's crazy.
Debbie Downer, the bad news.
Can I get a beer? Jesus.
Dude, one of these people, I'm close, very close, because that was like somebody that worked for a restaurant. That's fine. But if one of these people that is in the outside public challenges me over like wearing a mask or something like that, like there's gonna be problems. One day I'm gonna fucking flip the switch. So far I've been just like kind of passive, but I've had a couple fucking Karens. I go into some places, like say like, "Where's your mask?" or something like that, and dude.
So what are you gonna do? Beat a bitch?
But I'm screaming in somebody's face soon. It's just bound to happen. I'm gonna be having a bad day, and I'm gonna be like, "Shut your fucking mouth. This is not your restaurant." This.
Before I came to Cali, I was out running.
Viral.
I was running with a buddy of mine, and we're running, and this old woman goes, "Where's your mask?" Like as we literally ran by, running. I was like, and when you're exercising, you're just you're a little more aggressive. I was like, I went to like turn. My buddy hits me in the chest. He's like, just come on, keep going. I was like, oh, really? Okay, all right, we'll keep going.
What you want to? What did you want to say to her, Chris?
I just wanted to, like Gary said, I just wanted to scream in her face.
Yeah.
It was nothing
Acid.
coherent was gonna come out of me. I was just gonna yell at her for being such a moi.
Dude, it's like mind your fucking business. Was it an older white lady? Chris?
Yep. Yeah, of course.
It was a
100%.
Karen.
Karen. Yep. Got Karen from Long Island.
Why don't they just mind their fucking business? People are so
Yeah.
sensitive.
Oh, you see this shirt? I got this. My gift from Tony Jeffries over at Box and Burn.
Yeah,
Great
you don't have video anymore, Chris.
Still?
Sorry to say. No.
Yeah. Your video is out.
You and your shitty ass internet.
Oh,
Dude,
fuck,
so Chris, how long did it take you to drive from LA to Vegas?
So LA to Vegas was like really smooth, like 3 hours, 45 minutes, and then Vegas to LA was like 5.5. It's a fucking nightmare coming home.
Wow.
What
Yeah.
were you driving alone, or was your
Yeah.
buddy with you?
That was long.
Oh, you met your buddy there. Is that car
lives
like is it a rental? Did you rent it out for the weekend, or are you?
Yeah, it's a rental. I have a rental here the whole time.
Was it the same car that you've been driving all along?
Yeah, that's like red Camry thing.
Is it insured?
No.
Yeah, you probably should have insured it after, committing all those illicit activities in the car.
In the car? No,
Right.
the car's a piece of trash. I did it in my really nice hotel room at the Bellagio. That's where all the illegal things happen.
So it's the last day of Gay Pride, guys. Congrats.
What's that?
Oh,
The last day of Gay Pride Month. Congrats, guys.
Dude, I have to say, I'm so glad that the Pride Week got canceled in New York City because, and listen, people can consider this homophobia. I really don't care. You consider it whatever you want. So I didn't realize this, but I was staying.
Tread lightly, Gary. Tread lightly.
I'm gonna stomp.
Have a
don't, Gary, don't
big
tread lightly at all.
So
gay and lesbian fan base.
So as
have
dude, listen, I have plenty of gay and lesbian friends, and they're all wonderful people. I have no problem with their life choices. Okay. What I do have a problem with, and what at least makes me uncomfortable, and I don't think this is a weird thing to make someone feel uncomfortable at all when you hear what I have to say. So I happened to be staying in New York. A friend came down. I don't know if it was the last Pride week or the one before that or whatever. I don't know if it was a year ago, 2 years ago. And we're staying in New York, and I didn't realize that the parade and stuff was going on that weekend. So, bro, I walk out of the hotel, and the streets are just flooded with like fucking dudes with like their dicks out and fucking nipple ring, and even like chicks too. It was just like a very weird, people dressed up like fucking fairies, and it's just like a very uncomfortable environment. And not just that, you're with all these like shirtless fucking people, you're crammed in like this, and you cannot get through these crowds of people without like fucking being rubbing right up against people. And like, dude, listen,
How many hand jobs did you get?
be gay, be lesbian, bi, whatever it is that you want to be. I have no particular desire to be in large groups of people with like their fucking dicks out and nipple rings and fucking shit. Like, it's just very.
Gary.
I just thought of a hashtag for Gary, be gay. Just be gay.
Dude, I have no problem with. I just don't have any desire to be fucking surrounded by that, like that.
Gary, be honest. Did you get your dick grabbed?
Dude, I have no idea. I blacked.
Come on, bro.
I blacked
You know
that
you
whole
got your
fucking
dick grabbed.
experience out. If it happened, I don't remember.
That's awesome.
Bro, there's a bunch of nightclubs here that are like near the north coast of the island that are like full of prostitutes. It's like a huge destination for bachelor parties.
Yeah.
And you go to these nightclubs and
Obviously, you know this because someone else told you. You wouldn't know.
yeah, a friend of mine. Dude, you
likely story.
You get your dick grabbed like every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Frankie's gone
looking
a
for
lot.
action.
Like,
That's what it's like in
he's got
Asia.
a lot of experience.
Yes,
In
That's-
Asia, you
what I
go to
imagine.
like strip clubs and like, or even if you're out in like, there's certain areas where there's like street walking, like hookers and things like that. And when you walk around, they'll literally just walk right up and grab your cock. Like there's no decorum.
Chris.
Like, there's no,
Chris, it's amazing. It's like shaking your hand. That's the equivalent, bro.
Hey,
It's
big
like they don't
boy.
shake hands. They shake your
Shake your member.
Were you shocked, Gary, or were you just cool with it?
huh? Oh, I mean,
Like
it's
shocked at
definitely
first?
it's definitely weird. There's some people that really can't handle it. Like, you know, like I was mentioning before, like I was a little uncomfortable in the gay pride parade thing, having to walk through groups of people like that. No worries. You know, it's not the end of the world. I didn't fucking punch anybody in the face. I didn't get like irritated. It was just weird for me, right? Some people that I've been with in Asia like get very upset. Like they get their dicks, which I kind of understand. I mean, it's the same way that like chicks get upset if like dudes come up and fucking grab their ass and shit. I mean, they get pissed, man. They're not cool with that. Whether it's a man or a woman, just like coming up and like just touching them when they didn't want to be touched. You know, they're not happy about it. So
Man, I can just imagine your like different feelings about the situation. At first, you were probably appalled, like, "Oh shit, what the fuck just happened?" And then you're like, "I can get used to this."
I don't really, it doesn't bother me, man. I don't really care. Like you see videos all the time, particularly what I see in communities, in like, what's the right way to say this? Like lower income communities, you'll see videos of like, they make like these spoof videos of like a dude pretending to like, you know, he's not gay, but he's pretending to hit on guys like in these communities or whatever. And guys will literally flip out and fight the person, just not even from touching.
Are you talking about Vitaly?
I don't know what the video. I don't remember the videos, but like they'll literally flip out and fucking fight people just because they're getting hit on, or you know, I mean, sometimes it is more aggressive and it's a touch or something, but I don't know, man. It's not that big of a deal. I might tell somebody if they were really sexually aggressive, like touching me and stuff. I might be like, yo, listen, just back off. But most of the time, I would laugh. You know, it's just not. I don't.
Yeah, I think I saw that video. It's this guy called Vitaly. He does a bunch of like prank videos. He's done one that's really funny. He stands outside like the Venice Beach Gold's Gym or like a Gold's Gym, and he starts calling meatheads like juice heads. Hey, look at the juice head, and asking them for roids. Like, so how much steroids do you do to get that size, dude? He gets his ass beat all the time.
That's amazing. The one that I saw was a dude who was going through and he had like a Woody, like the Toy Story character, and he would have it like behind his back, and he'd walk up to dudes and be like, "Yo, you want to see my Woody? You want to touch my Woody or whatever?" And they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like ready to fucking fight him, and he like pulled out the thing, and sometimes people would laugh, but most of the time they were getting very aggressive. They didn't.
I would think that person was special if someone came up to me and said that. I'd be like, "No, buddy, I'm good. Like, go put your dog." Like, I wouldn't get mad right away. It would be the first thing, you know.
How are the fights, Chris? Did you like them?
I
What'd you think of them?
really only.
You don't
watched
remember?
John? No, I didn't really watch them like that. I'm not a big UFC fan, dude. I don't like if I don't personally know the guy. Like I watched John and I watched Poirier.
You talk. Well, I mean that's the main event.
Yeah, but
were
like
you drunk,
because I
dude?
know him. No.
I'm like, did you watch the fights? No. And then he just says, yeah, I watched the main event. That's it. That was like the best fight.
There's like 11 fights.
Bro,
I watched
the main
the
event
guy
was like amazing. Did you?
They were killing each other. Absolutely killing each other.
Gary, this fight, it's like a candidate for like fight of the year. These guys,
Hooker did really well.
bro, these guys were killing each other. It was like a back and forth beating.
It was like Hooker came out to an early lead, and then Dustin really just kind of dominated down the stretch.
Yeah.
But like it could have gone either way for sure. But I like the fact that Dustin won because Dustin in the last round beat the brakes off of Hooker and literally finished the fight with Hooker. Like the bell rings and Hooker was literally on the ground,
just like dude. He was trying to shoot for takedowns and couldn't get them.
Yeah, I think I saw some clips, but I think I saw a round that was ended where Poirier looked like he was about to get finished as well.
Yeah,
it must have been one of the earlier rounds, but he was absolutely covered up, bent over, getting hit without any, not throwing any punches back. and the bell rang. I don't know which round it was,
I think
but
that was round 3. He legit ate hard strikes to the face, like back to back to back.
So it definitely was a very, I'm guessing, very close fight. At least at intermittent points.
Yeah. Chris, did you see Mike Perry?
I
before
did.
that.
I didn't. He's nuts. I'd rather watch him talk in camera than actually fight.
It's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
he's
the post
a crazy
fight
person.
was amazing, man. He was talking about paying his taxes and how he needed to pay his taxes.
He makes a lot
love
of good
that guy.
points and draws a lot of attention to poor coaching in mixed martial arts, and I like that.
Dude,
Because
it was hilarious. His girlfriend
so
was
true.
his cornerman.
It's, you know what though? I don't know who his past corners were. I don't know who he has problems with or whatever, but man, there are a lot of dudes out there that are literally just capitalizing on guys' names, and they collect names, dude. You know, they work with one guy, they work with, you know, then that brings in another guy that's got a name, and you know, they work with enough people, and really all they're doing is fucking holding up pads and yelling some like basic
Throwing a towel over their shoulder.
yeah,
And
and they're getting paid, you know, percentages of these guys' purses to fucking show up to do
Dude,
that, and
And it's crazy because it was the match was supposed to be grappler versus brawler, because Mickey Gall is supposed to be like a black belt, like a Gracie black belt or something like that.
Yeah,
And
he's
he-
okay. His jiu-jitsu's not bad.
Yeah, but this guy like
He's
out-grappled the
not a
fuck
very
out
good
of him.
fighter though.
Mike Perry out-grappled him.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the fight,
Yeah.
but yeah, it doesn't
He took
surprise me
over
that
all the
much.
scrambles.
It's not like he's like Mickey's not like a killer grappler. He's good. You know, he's adequate skills. I don't know much about Mike Perry's grappling.
I was impressed.
But it's also very different. Like grappling in the context of mixed martial arts and grappling in the just pure context. I feel like there's huge differentiations there. You add punches in, and it really changes things a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
And not even just that, like the transition beforehand, like you're going to get to way better positions than you might have been able to get your grappling match if it started in a punching exchange.
Mhm.
You know, you're more likely to possibly give up your back, or more likely to, you know, give up certain positions that you wouldn't even be able to give up before.
Hey Chris, I
Yo.
think we could have John Vellante on and have an intervention, kind of like what Joe Rogan did to Brendan Schaub. And that could be like our big break.
We could.
Listen,
could.
I'll be the one to do it. If you're like, you guys are really good friends, you know, I'll be the one to do it. I'll break it. I'll break the news to him.
Nah, I haven't talked to him yet. I normally give a fighter like a week or so.
I thought you
But
went over there to go see him.
Well, they were in the bubble. I couldn't even see him. So I figured they were gonna hang out afterwards. Like I said, they didn't hang out afterwards. So I didn't see him.
Yeah, you weren't gonna waste your buzz going back to his hotel room. Fuck that.
I barely drank. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think happened this weekend.
Well, I mean, I saw a picture of you and Escobar being compared, so.
Well, I mean, cocaine and drinking are two different things.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and hook us up with some love. If you have any questions, you can email us to fleshwoundpodcast@gmail.com. Anything is allowed.
Eyewitness News, where news comes
Burn event
first.
time. So, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss have been spotted on the set of Matrix 4. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's fucking huge news, guys. Are you not a Matrix fan?
Who's Carrie-Anne Moss?
That's his chick.
That's the chick.
Trinity.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was her name.
You guys aren't big Matrix fans?
I actually watched the trilogy like very recently, like the whole thing. Like I did like back-to-back nights. I did like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and watching each movie is awesome.
Greatest
I
trilogy
rewatch
ever.
it frequently.
Such a great series.
Yeah.
Man, and now he's back for Matrix 4. And after all that training he got from John Wick, what the? He's coming back with fucking
His
a
gun
vengeance
skills are gonna be
and
sick.
a lot of flair.
Yeah, they try. I've had a couple arguments with people. Some guys saying that like they thought that John Wick was better than the Matrix, and I'm just like, ugh.
different. They're different. They're so different.
One has great action sequences and clearly wins in that category, but has little to no story. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Its simplicity is its beauty.
There's
Tell-
a story.
tell
It's just not very
dumbass
good.
friend.
Yeah,
They killed my dog. So
Yeah,
Tell
it's
your
sim-
fucking
it's simple,
dumbass
but
friend
It's great. It works. But I'm saying, like, come on, man. Like, to anybody who's has some sort of appeal to science, sci-fi kind of, things. I mean, it's not. It's a different movie. That's just an action movie. There's no the
Matrix
science
is
fiction part of it is not there like it is with Matrix.
It's not only that. The first Matrix was like revolutionary. It was like a game changer in cinema.
Dude, the Matrix, the whole idea, the concept is absolutely brilliant. Like, we might be living in the Matrix right now. Like, it's that fucking good. And John Wick was pretty much like Commando. It's just a fun action movie.
Yeah.
A good one, a damn good one, but
sure. You can
Maybe we should have your friend on here and have an intervention for him.
You can even also argue that the Matrix is more realistic.
Yeah.
Here's why I argue that the Matrix is more realistic, because at least they make some sort of allusion and suggestion that there's a reason why the main character is kicking everybody's ass. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You're going to tell me that, like, oh, this guy is just such a fucking awesome mob badass that he could just walk around an entire movie and just murder
kill
people
500
with pencils and
500 trained assassins.
Never,
they're all
never get shot.
trained. They're not like regular people. They're all like
It's not like bums off the street.
They're legit like bad guy henchmen, and he's completely dominating them.
Yeah.
Well, in his defense, John Wick is supposed to be like a comic book.
Yeah.
So.
It's based on like a graphic novel. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. I love Keanu. He's up there.
Yeah, he's badass. It's so crazy how he turned into an action star. He was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Ooh, Bill and Ted's 4.
And now
Bill and Ted's 3 is coming out. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
No.
It's not Keanu, right? He's fucking.
It looks
50.
horrible. And you know what? I always had this notion that like Keanu looked amazing for his age.
Yeah.
Right? Because he looks good.
Yeah.
But now, after seeing him in the new trailer for Bill and Ted's, I'm like, dude.
Wait, no, I was joking.
He has not aged well.
He's in the new Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Oh, dude, yes. he's just grabbing all the money. He's just like,
at this point, you gotta get paid, baby.
Pass that role on, bro. Give it to somebody else.
I know, and he's in high demand. I don't know why he's taking these roles.
Gary, you should take that role.
I know what it is. The blonde dude, his friend. He's extending an olive branch.
Yeah, he's broke. Yeah, that makes
bro,
sense.
I got you, dog. I'm gonna do you a solid.
It's a comedy, obviously.
Yeah, it's a comic. It's the same, kind of like the same concept. The time machine and shit.
Wow. But yeah, my point, him going from literally Bill and Ted to becoming the biggest action star currently in the world, it's insane.
But anyways, Matrix 4 is gonna be the shit.
What about Point Break? I thought they were making a sequel to that.
Yeah, they did, and it sucked.
Yeah,
it was without
how you can do that.
That movie.
Without Bodhi, what do you do?
Man, Keanu Reeves got so many great movies. Yeah. What about Speed?
Speed is awesome. Really good. Speed, Point Break is one of my favorites. Obviously, John Wick, Matrix. Bill and Ted was funny, too. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
He's definitely been in some other stuff, too.
Ago.
He made a lot of shitty movies, too, though.
Gary.
Yes.
How's the new Will Ferrell series? I saw you talking about it on Instagram.
Oh, I mean, it's just a movie. It's not a series.
Oh, it's not a series?
No, I don't. Not that I'm aware of, because we watched quite a bit of it. It was good. It wasn't like great, you know.
Wait, is that the fire thing? The fire.
Yeah,
Eurovision.
I watched about 30 minutes of it last night and shut it off.
Yeah, it's okay. It's definitely not one of his best movies. It's got little touches of brilliance here and there, but
I feel like 2020 has not done Will Ferrell well. Starting with the Imagine song where the celebrities. Yes, he was fucking in that. I was so disappointed when I saw him in that.
I think he needed a better partner for this one.
Everybody in there.
I think in all of his movies, he's had really dynamic co-stars that made it easier to make these jokes. And I don't know the woman in this movie. I forget her name. Who? Rachel McAdams. She's hot. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, is that Jeff?
Yeah.
Tell him shut his face while we're potting.
Wow.
Shut down.
That cookie thing was amazing.
Oh, he thought your cookie voice note was hilarious. That is probably one of the best things I ever heard. I loved it so much.
Thank you, Jeff. I actually uploaded it.
Buddy.
Everybody needed to see the darker side of Gary.
Gary, he said it to me. He
Gary's
goes,
thoughts.
"You think Gary would like this?" I'm like, "Dude, that's brilliant." Please
Gary,
put that in.
that's not exactly what you said. You said you're so stupid. That was
I mean,
literally his feedback.
I
You're like,
meant
you're
that too.
ridiculous, bro. You're so stupid.
Yeah, I
It
meant
was
that.
great. It was
good.
so good. So good. Well, I mean, you're so stupid because I mean the amount of time that must have taken comparative to the
Fuck
joke.
you.
Yeah, I mean yes, but it still was amazing. I'm glad you did waste your time on it.
Yeah. What's funny is that I had to like spin it because Gary, those are actual voice notes of Gary ripping me another asshole, bro. Oh my god.
Even the inception of it, you even deciding that you could do that, and that was going to be the idea. That blows my mind.
The level of ridiculously inside me is.
I hope you're gonna play this for the viewing audience because otherwise they're not gonna have a clue like what we're talking about.
Dude, it's
Good
uploaded.
point.
Like
Oh, where is it uploaded?
we-
Is it uploaded as
We're
an
at 18
episode?
now.
yeah, the episode be the new episode. It's not an episode. I just wrote leaked voice notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I just wanted to make sure they know where to go to find it.
Yeah, it's in. I'll make a YouTube video of it so we could rip some clips off it.
I was gonna hold on here. Let's see if I don't know if the audio will be good enough to share,
Frankie,
but
I think I liked it more because I felt your pain, and I never thought.
that's because Jeff gets abused by me.
Oh my God, Jeff must get
He gets
that
it.
all the time, dude. Jeff,
All right.
I feel for you,
I'm gonna
buddy.
play it. I'm gonna play a piece of it and see if it plays well over the.
Hey, buddy. I was wondering if you got the cookie box I sent you. It's been a minute.
Bro, I haven't opened it yet amidst the pandemic.
Hey, don't get snappy with me. You're the one that wanted the chocolate chip cookies, and I spent all day baking them for you, bro.
I don't know what it is that you don't understand about how I live my life.
Yeah, I know
So amazing. So good.
Oh my God, you're such an asshole.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Yo,
It's so funny because in those moments, like I know I'm overreacting and I know I'm being a dick, but I can't stop it. Like I just can't. I'm trying to hold it. Like the whole time I'm like, listen, maybe I'm being a little too harsh right now, and then I'm
But I
fucking
gotta do
delicious
it.
the entire time.
Dude, you're a fighter. We're all like that. Literally, I do that with people around me all the time. I'm like, I know I'm being fucking insane. I know that this is way too much, but I'm not going to stop because this is the way that I feel right now. And I'm just going to go louder and
Wait,
louder. I'm
did
going to win.
Did you watch Eastbound and Down?
Yes.
There's a part of that. There's a part of that where he's yelling at the little fat kid for getting on his jet ski, and he's like, listen, I'm really embarrassed about the things that I'm doing right now, but if I stop yelling, that means I lose the fight. So I'm just gonna keep yelling, and I'm gonna walk away. Yeah.
I'm going to Shabooms. That show is absolute gold. Absolute gold. I'm gonna watch that whole series this weekend. I love that show. Yes, but that's exactly what we do. I do the same thing.
Dr. Dre and his wife of 24 years has filed for divorce. Nicole Young filed the paperwork on Monday.
She making that money.
Yes.
She making that money.
Citing
Irreparable.
irreconcilable differences,
Mm.
aka Dr.
Blow
Dick,
jobs.
aka Dr. Drill, aka Dirty Hose, aka I got hoes in different area codes. Dude, I mean, come on, man.
They're what? They're in LA. They're California people.
Dr.
Yeah,
Dre's got $1 billion.
Divorce laws are pretty sick here.
He's got thoughts all over the place, and
I hope they use his songs in court to try to get more money. Like, listen, this is who he is.
bro, he'll be good.
He's got hoes in different area codes. Don't you hear what he's saying here?
The Chronic, really? This man, the character of this man is dog
He
shit.
can't have
Give me more
custody
money.
he can't have custody of the children. Listen to this.
Yeah, I could have seen that a mile away. He's got to slang that dick, dog.
Slanging. Mike Tyson's birthday today, apparently.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
That's cool.
Your boy Mikey.
Dude, Iron Mike, the legend.
So talking about Karens, videos of all these white chicks throwing stupid hissy fits have been surging all over the internets.
They're amazing.
Yeah, like white chicks getting told to wear masks at the store.
I enjoy them a lot.
I saw this one yelling at little African American kids playing with water guns outside her house. I saw this one white chick harassing a black woman for not having her lawn mowed. So yeah, these are the so-called Karens.
My favorite so far has been the woman that got that flipped off a driver and broke down crying. She flipped off a driver and then he followed her.
Absolute fit when he followed her, and
all he did was go like,
her.
"Hey, like, why did you flip me off?" and put her on camera. And she was just crying hysterically and acting like she was being, "You're attacking me!" Ah! Like, what a fucking crazy person.
Dude, I
love that when they're on the phone and they're like, "Oh my God, there's an African American man walking up to me. I'm being attacked," and the guy's like, "I'm not attacking you. I'm talking to you."
You know what I think? I think that there's a big pill popping epidemic going on for like a while. Like, and after like being in quarantine and lockdown, I'm sure that all these desperate housewives are popping pills and drinking alcohol and
Frankie,
and having
bro,
these
you're
fucking episodes.
You're onto something. You're onto something.
Yeah, because sometimes they seem like they're not all there. It's like they blow up, they make big deals out of like the stupidest shit. So there's got to be like some.
I know these people. These women are all over the place. There's crazy older white women everywhere on Long Island.
Florida,
crazy housewives.
Flooded with Karens and in
noxious, pretentious, absolutely fly off the handle.
And as you go up north, more and more of these chicks are all over the place.
You know what's really a big turnoff for me? That's for chicks, like that sort of thing. Like the idea, this power dynamic that they think that they have. Like any chick that talks in a way where it's clear that she has no fear of getting her ass beat by anyone, man or woman, or like arrested or anything like anyone that speaks like that, I'm like, oh my God, I can't be around this person. You know, like
what do you mean, like be racist?
They're gonna get me in trouble at some point. No, like somebody who talks, like you'll hear them talk and they'll be like, oh yeah, like that chick, whatever, and you know, I would have beat her ass, and it's literally like 110-pound chick who I know like couldn't throw a punch, couldn't defend themselves whatsoever, but acts like they're like the toughest girl in the world. Oh, what are you gonna do? Arrest me? What are you gonna do? You're gonna pepper spray me? And I want them to get pepper sprayed right in their eyes. Like I hope it happens. I don't
like talking like that.
To feel consequences for how much of a bitch they are. I really do.
I've seen girls get fucked up in person before. Like if you act crazy, there's certain groups of people that doesn't mean anything.
Guilty pleasure of mine. I'm just gonna put this out there. Don't care. This will be the 18th time that we get canceled.
Tread lightly.
I'm never gonna tread lightly, Frankie. I absolutely love videos where chicks are flying off the handle that think that there's going to be no repercussions, and then there's repercussions. One of my favorites is when the woman spits on the bus driver and he throws an uppercut from fucking the depths of hell.
Whoa.
And literally her chin just lifted up to the fucking ceiling of the bus.
He puts a bitch on her back.
Yes. I forget what was exactly what he say when he did it. He said, not you're gonna learn today. What was it? It was you're going to jail today. You're going to jail now, and he fucking uppercuts her, and I was just like, slow clap.
I've seen women get beat up on buses quite a bit. What is that? What is there? Like videos of women on buses getting knocked out is a pretty common thing.
But like, dude, you can't just walk around thinking that there's no repercussions to any of your actions. It's fuck. Like I'm not gonna be the one that uppercuts a girl. But I'll be damned if I'm not going to laugh hysterically when I watch it happen because she's fucking spitting on a bus driver's face.
Bro, that sounds like an epic ending to a movie where he just stands up and he looks at her dead in the eye and goes, "Not today, Karen." Boom.
Because imagine they're like living your life with no like feeling like that. You know, none of us could ever act like that because we get our fucking ass beat, and they live their whole life acting like this with no repercussions.
That's one of the reasons why fighters are so humble, because we all know, like, you can get your ass kicked. We've all got our asses kicked before, whether in the gym or in fights or whatever. And like, we know you can't just do whatever you want. There are repercussions to your actions. Sure. And I think a lot of women have no athletic background. That's not the way this world works. You cannot hit people without getting hit back. That is not the world.
That one's even worse when they're not just being verbally abusive, but so the one girl like if they actually hit someone, and it's just like, dude, it's wild. I remember, did I tell you guys a story of when I got slapped in the face by one of my exes?
Well, you get slapped in the face by all your exes.
That's not.
I think you did.
So I told some sort of terrible joke, right? Whatever it was, because I'm an asshole as usual, right?
Is this in the bedroom or?
No. We were just like, I think I was working with her or something like that. I don't want to mention where I was working because I don't want to blow up her spot or, anything like that. So literally on the job, and I said something she didn't like, whatever it was, and she cocks her hand up like this to fucking hit me, right? And at the time I was training, like I started doing MMA. I didn't do like this is years ago, so I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing sparring. So I would just go to sparring, run forward, get punched a lot, and then fucking try to take people down. That was like all I got. And as her hand like came up, like my hand like kind of came up, and I backed away. So she like clipped me, and I clipped her. I was like, fuck. And you should have seen the look on her face, as if somehow I didn't like wind up and punch her in the face. Like I was just like kind of trying to move out of the way and like block the shot, right?
You could just hear Danaher's voice. Get one, give one, fire back.
That was before I even
get one, give one.
That was even before I worked with Danaher. I didn't even know Danaher back then. So yeah, the look on her face and the shock and awe, acting like somehow like that should have never happened. It's like, dude, you initiated this. Like you slapped me.
Well,
like,
the problem is that you said something
Muscle
and then
memory,
she
sorry.
went to hit you.
Sure.
That's not okay. That's not okay. You can't go physical from talk.
Recognizing that moment back back then, I should have immediately been like, "Yep, we're done. No more. We're gone." Ended the relationship immediately. Thank God it never escalated. There was no other violence that occurred during that relationship. But man, I could remember the shock on her face, like as if like
Jesus.
that should never have been a result.
Garry, I never knew you got physical with Susie. Oh shit.
I never dated Susie. It's
I was gonna say that's a strange name. I can't see you with Susie. Yeah, in my household growing up, we had there's no hitting without repercussions. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what you are. I've seen my mom fist fight my dad. Like they kind of grew up totally different. And my dad didn't win all the time. I think he lost most of the time. But I've seen my parents like fight.
Dude, you know what would be the
ultimate? Like us as kids, like if you hit somebody, you can get hit back.
That's a rule in the Algieri household.
It is. There's no hitting without any repercussions. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what would be the ultimate power move? If you were to do like that, the Russian dude, the dude with that tattoos that slaps him, and he just stands there like all stoic, like if nothing happened, boom, you just stand there just looking.
Yeah, just look him right in the eyes.
Like nothing just happened.
I've seen chicks hurt dudes before. I'm not letting a chick hit me.
Yeah, I feel like that could backfire. You could get dropped. You could get dropped.
You're getting slapped by your girlfriend.
Fucking face plant.
Some people hit hard, girls included.
Yeah, you never know. She could have some pop. So it's safe to say the name Karen will never be used ever again.
Oh my God!
It automatically
as it should
assume you're a biatch.
Like, what were you thinking to begin with when you named your kid Karen? I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yes, I'm talking about now after.
I've never met a kid who was named Karen. I feel like you turn into a Karen.
Yeah, you're 45 and now that's your name.
Right. You used to be named Susie, and then legally your name was changed to Karen.
Well, after 2020, that name is officially going to be erased from.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's for sure.
And the guys, they call them Kevins, right?
Ken.
Or
Ken?
Tom's.
So far, I saw Ken and Karen listed as the two guys or two people that went outside when they're. So the protesters like knocked down or jumped over their gate or something like that. So they came out. Well, one of them came out with like a
assault rifle,
an automatic weapon, and then the other one came out with a handgun. And they were calling them Ken and Karen or something like that. I mean, I don't know, dude. I didn't see the whole video.
That's completely legal.
Dude, if you're.
But dude, you can't like destroy somebody's gate or come over somebody's gate and not expect. I mean, dude, if I had a gun and you jumped over my fucking gate and there was a group of you, I'm fucking, tens or hundreds of people, dude, I'm fucking breaking out the fucking weapons as well.
I saw that video and I was like, that is 100% okay. I'm protecting my home. This is what I have guns for.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like if you have a really white name, you're fucked, man. Imagine going to Starbucks and asking for like an extra shot of soy milk or some shit like that, and people getting sassy with you. All right, Tom. All right,
Kevin.
All right, Todd.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Todd's a good one.
Can't even order some extra soy latte. You got anything for us, Chris? Anything about
I don't.
curing hangovers? You want to share with us?
Yeah, Chimera coffee. I've been doing
Gio.
collagen and coconut oil in my coffee in the morning, and so apparently that binds the caffeine, and it's a slower release, so it doesn't
cold brew?
some people have like a real spike. Yeah, well, in any kind of coffee, if you mix like an oil and like people use butter or coconut oil or whatever, or ghee even, but apparently ghee, because it's clarified, doesn't like emulsify the caffeine the way that coconut oil does.
Doesn't
or
it
olive
clump
oil
up
or whatever.
in cold water? It clumps up, the coconut oil.
Yeah, it does. But
You have to
then you
blend
have one of those little like
Yeah, you have to blend it.
little spinny things. But
I had no issues just adding it into
Hot coffee.
the coffee and like mixing it up a little bit. I mean, you see it pool up on the top, but like I don't know. I felt like it was.
Are you
evenly
talking about
distributed.
hot coffee or cold coffee?
Yeah, hot coffee.
No, hot coffee is
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
It blends in hot coffee, but once it's cold, it makes a coconut clump
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
just because of the temperature.
Yeah, most.
I like it in the hot coffee though.
There are
It
some
melts.
coconut
Right.
oils
It's really good.
that are liquid at room temperature, but a lot of them are solid. Like I have a bottle of coconut oil that's liquid at room temperature. So I don't know how they do that, but I guess there must be some ingredient that they add to it to keep it liquid.
Interesting. Is it like extra virgin?
Probably there's probably some way that they distilled it or something that maybe added, like he said, added an emulsifier or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really good in hot coffee. I like it.
I've never put extra virgin in a coffee. That's kind of a weird flavor to have in a coffee. I do like coconut oil a lot in coffee.
It probably tastes the same.
Nah, because olive oil has a distinct
Oh no, I
flavor
wasn't
to it.
suggesting
No,
that
no.
with olive oil. I thought he was suggesting
Coconut oil.
extra virgin coconut oil, like
Yeah.
they
Oh,
somehow like
okay.
it was
my
like
bad.
more
If I
filtered
said
than
olive.
like regular coconut oil or something like
That
that.
was stupid.
Right.
Stupid.
Yeah, I think I have some. I'm using some weird Trader Joe's one that's like really kind of thick and almost like milky to it. Hot cup of oh, that's fucking Joe Exotic.
Yo, guys,
Nice.
have you seen how what a fucking promo machine Vinny the Chin is? He's been
Yeah.
ripping-
Cranks them out.
He makes me look
every day.
like dog shit, bro. He's like cranking out these promo videos every day. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm gonna repost that right now.
Dude, we got to have him on this weekend. Let's have him
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude. I'll have him on anytime.
We got to
Dude,
do
that's-
something. I feel like we got to use him more effectively though. Like I think we need to do some sort of a skit with him or something like that. Like I need to go somewhere. I need to like go to a restaurant with him. Like we need like something. There needs to be more happening than just the podcast. I think a challenge, some sort of Vinny the Chin challenge. Or,
Listen,
We need to invite
We'll get there.
Karen on the show and have Vinny deal
oh
with
my
her.
god, that would be fucking amazing.
Let's just get some like really like liberal feminist chick and then have her talk to.
when are you back in New York, Chris?
My contract ends July 23rd. So end July. So I got another month.
Okay. So maybe like end of July or something like that. We'll go. We'll do the barbecue, and Frankie can watch us. Frankie can watch us from
We'll
live
get the
stream.
tent together.
Yeah.
We'll do an Instagram live.
We'll do like we'll do something with him. I don't know what it'll be, but it should be. We'll play a game of cornhole, but the picture on the cornhole will be like a chick's asshole or something like that. We'll throw bags of Coke into the chick's asshole. I think that could be
Dude, that would be
you know
amazing.
what, that idea right there. I'm just gonna say that
You just riffed that.
somebody
That
is
was
gonna copy
awesome.
that idea and make thousands of dollars making a cornhole game of a chick's asshole with bags of Coke being thrown into it. And yeah, I just want to tell you that's $1 million idea I just came up with right off the top.
You know who's doing it? Is Vinny. Who moves faster than that guy?
He's actually playing it with real people though. He's actually throwing some.
It'll happen. Dude,
Let him, baby. So, oh wait, speaking of that, sorry, Frankie. Did I ever tell you guys about my strip club experience in Philly? Like the weirdest strip club ever.
no.
No.
So this could be like a podcast in and of its own, probably. We should definitely all go one day. So there's this place called Show and Tell. Okay.
Great name.
In Philly. And it's spelled weird. It's spelled tell is spelled with like TEL instead of two L's. I don't know. It's very weird. But I go into this place after some tournament or something, and whatever. There's nothing left to do. It's super late, so let's go to the strip club. It looks on the outside like things aren't going to go so well. I don't know if it was like a Sunday or something, like a slow night, but there wasn't like that many girls in there. Since I've been there later, I've seen better days. But that day it was pretty slow. I'm like, man, maybe we'll get out of here. And I'm so glad I stayed. So first off, when the girls dance, the bar is separated from the stage in such a way where you can't really give tips by like throwing the singles onto the stage in a normal way. You have to ball them up and like throw them like you're
a basketball.
for basketball or something on. So the strippers have adapted to this. So what they do is they'll like squeeze a cup between their butt cheeks or something, and they'll ask you to throw dollar bills or like put it between their legs and try to bank it off of their pussy or something like that.
I love how he
So
said
it's like making
strippers
three-pointers.
adapted, like they're like a species in the wild.
It's so weird. They did adapt though. It's so weird. They're like they realize how much guys enjoy like simple
Playing basketball?
competitive games, like trying to get a paper ball into a cup. So they've adapted and found a way to get more tips. So like even the ugly ones, like if they do hold the cup in a creative way, like they're gonna get tips, right? It was the strangest shit I've ever seen. And then after that, now this has nothing to do with like fucking throwing.
I think that's pretty genius. It's like they made a little game into a
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah.
It's like you and a buddy. Let's see who can make more free throws.
Yeah. So they did that, and then I'm like, all right, well that's pretty weird, but all right, it's still kind of beat. Like let's head out. And before we head out, they play like a siren or something, and they're like, oh, we got a hot seat, and I'm like, what? What the fuck is a hot seat? And they sit some dude down on a chair. I guess he pays like $50 or whatever. They sit some dude down on a chair and start beating the shit out of him, like slapping his chest. They took a belt and start fucking beating the dude's ass. And then they put like whipped cream all over him and like rub their ass in his face or something like that at the end. So like there was at least some good part of the actual lap dance, I guess.
Did
But
you
So
hear
they
how
humi-
Freaky Frankie just
so
was
they-
like, yes.
He was like
They-
handcuffed to a pole.
They
the whole time.
humiliate him.
It was amazing. It was the greatest thing. So now I bring my friends there unknown to them. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're just going to head to the strip club. It's going to be a good time, low key, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I got you a hot seat. Like it's like a lap dance on stage, this is really good. And then they get the shit kicked out of them. I always bring my steel tipped belt and I fucking throw it out there for them.
Ouch.
Frankie's getting hot seated.
Yeah.
Frank, you're gonna get hot seated, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, treat me like a little bitch.
You're
Humiliate
gonna love
me
it.
in front of my friends.
The worst part about it is actually not the belt, because when they hit you with the belt, it's typically on your ass, so it's through your pants. It's them slapping your chest. You would think it's not a big deal, but man, like you have bruises on your chest like the next day. And they're hitting hard. You would think it's like, it's nothing, dude. It's terrible. I wanted to tap. I wanted to be like, tap. I'm good.
Okay, so yeah, we're never going to Philly.
Shit.
But,
Dude, we're going to Philly. Philly's an awesome town.
said no one ever. Gary, do you want to go back to Philly?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Philly's
so you had
cool,
fun in
dude.
Philly? Really?
I mean, listen,
Yeah,
I don't.
Philly's really cool.
I feel like I don't hear that often.
Right now, is it a good idea to be in Philly? Absolutely.
No.
But
It's not a good idea to be at a lot of places right now.
I
Chicago.
enjoy Philly, like, going out over there and shit.
Philly's got like cool bars and food, and
Yeah.
it's like a walking town. It's cool.
Decent chicks too,
You
stuff
guys,
like that.
I've never been to Texas. I really
Yeah?
want to go
Texas-
there. Yeah,
Texas
dude. I
is
hear
dope.
that Austin.
Me and
Austin's
Gordon-
the shit.
Yeah, Austin's got a lot of hot chicks. It's a little bit more. The only thing about Austin is like it's cool in terms of like the chicks, and like it's like a nicer area and stuff, but it's a little bit more now filled with
Yeah.
like
It's like annoying white dudes.
exactly like that. What would you call it?
Hipsters.
like a hipster kind of weird culture.
Yeah, it's
So-
like a hipster Brooklyn town.
Yeah, I kind of prefer personally like Dallas.
Dallas is cool.
But anyway, we're gonna compete there. I think at the end of July, Frankie. I think me, Gordon, Nikki are all gonna compete there. So
Austin?
it's out there.
Dude.
No, not in Austin. In Dallas, probably.
Oh, Dallas.
Okay,
I'm
just gonna call it. 2021 Flesh Wound Podcast is hitting the road. We're going on tour, guys.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Frank, we should do what we did in California. Hit all those people and just podcast with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That would be dope.
One hundo
We got enough context out here.
next week. We're doing it big. Next month,
Big.
next year, I mean.
Next year.
All right.
Yeah,
and
2020 is
are
kind
we
of on
bringing-
hold. It's on
So, should we bring Chin with us? Or?
On a road trip? No, definitely not.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not on a road trip. No.
All right, bitches. Good pod.
All right, y'all.
I
Yourself,
move for no man, no man, no man, no man, no
We'll call it a draw.
no man.
Just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound. Just a